What is going on, my Houston Texans family? Hope you all are having a blessed Monday, a victory Monday. Appreciate everyone who showed up yesterday at Platypus Brewing, where we got our first win for a watch party. So shout out to everyone who was there in attendance with us, and I cannot wait for future dates. The Houston Texans yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, they did something that not a lot of people thought they were going to do, and that was beat the San Francisco 49ers 26-15. This is the biggest win of the season for the Houston Texans, right? The conversations heading into this week, the San Francisco 49ers, one of the best teams in the NFC, a 5-2 record. Even though they have injuries, they are still very well coached. Robert Saleh, head coach Shanahan, 9 out of 10 experts picked the Houston Texans to lose to San Francisco, even though the game was at home. And for the Houston Texans to do what they did yesterday, and I mean their offense being the driving force, the main reason why they won this football game, it leaves you wondering, what the hell is this Houston Texan offense? But before we get into all this, guys, episode brought to you powered by Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which now means you have a chance to 1,000 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Football has never been more exciting than it is now with players like CJ Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Jefferson. Pick on stats for these stars like touchdowns, pass yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for up to 1,000 times payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you could win big. Use promo code 713HOU and you get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. Guys, Sleeper is also doing something fantastic where you don't need to do a deposit. Free $20 entry. Just type in 713HOU. Now, like I said, the conversations entering this week where this could be, it for the Houston Texans. You lose this game, your season, it's over. Time to start mock drafting. We've already seen some Houston Texan content creators already bust out the mock drafts. We heard conversations on the Paul Gallant show. It was him and ESPN reporter DJ Bieniemy, and they both had discussions about, potential problems, not problems per se, but an issue with the players and the way, how they feel about D'Amico Ryans saying one thing behind the camera, saying one thing in front of the cameras. So when I heard that, and when you also heard him and offensive coordinator Nick Caley say, hey, the players, it's on them, basically what they said this week, I was worried heading into this game. I know a lot of you guys were worried also. So for the Houston Texans to do what they did yesterday, like I said before the sleeper ad, what the hell is this Houston Texan offense? Because I don't want to say that they're back because they've been inconsistent all year, right? We need to see 2, 3, 4 games in a row with an offense that's able to put up more than 17 points. But I also don't want to say they're dead in the water because they're capable of putting these type of offensive performances out there, right? I don't want to be that guy, but the Houston Texans have won 3 out of their last 4, and 3 out of the last 4 wins, they've put up 20, more than 25 plus points. Don't want to be that guy, but that's what the numbers are telling us right now. Winners of 3 out of the last 4, obviously, that one loss being the ugly win just 7 days ago on Monday Night Football. It's so crazy how different we're talking about this Houston Texans team, week in, week out. You saw CJ Stroud get the game ball. You saw him smiling. You heard what he said to the team after. I think that was the first time all year I saw a happy and a confident and a leader in CJ Stroud right there in that moment after he got the game ball. Now, I mean, he absolutely deserved it. He was 30 of 39, 318 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception right before the half. Quarterback rating of 106.6 on the ground. CJ rushed the ball for 7 times, 30 yards, 4.3 yards a carry. His longest rush was 13. getting it done on the air, getting it done on the ground. CJ Stroud deserved that game ball yesterday. He looked good. He, kind of put the, I don't want to say he silenced the critics, but the volume is not as loud as it was last week. Right? Last week, having conversations about CJ, what's going on with him. This week, I mean, there were still some throws, early on in the game where CJ Stroud was just, putting it a little too high for his receivers. But then as the game got on, started getting more comfortable, started showing off that accuracy, right? The deep ball to Jalen Noel, the huge first down late in the game to Xavier Hutchinson, right? Kind of floats it, puts it between two San Francisco defenders. The touchdown to Xavier Hutchinson, the accuracy on that throw, was it 3rd and 7, 39? The blitz was coming. CJ Stroud looked good throwing the football yesterday as the game went on. Definitely deserved the game ball. One thing about this offense that I think we all liked and have been asking for was utilization of the young guys. Woody Marks, 11 rushes, 62 yards. His longest was 23 through the air, 4 catches, 49 yards, 12.3 yards a catch. His longest was 50. Woody Marks, 100 all-purpose yards. One of the reasons why you won the game yesterday. Let me get this Odie hair off of me. Is it Odie hair? Yeah, I have a funny. We call our dog Odie Chody. And every time we see a stranded hair, we call it a chodewood. But moving on, um, Jalen Noel, 5 catches, 63 yards. His longest catch was 44. That big deep pass from CJ Stroud. And there was multiple times where Jalen Noel, these short catches for first downs. Jaden Higgins led the team in targets. I don't mind that whatsoever. 4 receptions, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Woody Marks all had an impact in yesterday's game for the Houston Texans offense, which also kind of frustrates you, right? When you're like, if these young boys are capable of doing this week in and week out, why are they not utilized more? Well, that's a question that we were all asking, a question that we were asking after, Monday Night Football against Seattle and Jalen Noel over there at punt returns too. The Houston Texan offense, it did its thing yesterday. And one group that needs to be highlighted and praised, the offensive line. I don't think anyone thought that the Houston Texan offensive line was going to give up 0 sacks. 0 sacks. Now, they still had the rotation of left guard between Laken Tomlinson and Juice Scruggs. And, they need to figure that out. I would love to go into this trade deadline and look for a left guard. Right, you get to have that conversation now that you're 3-4, and it feels like you're about to just bust open. Um, Jake Andrews had a penalty on him. Ed Ingram looked good. Titus Howard, he got blown up on, and I think the quarterback sneak, but still, the offensive line, it had its moments. Giving up 0 sacks, it's probably one of the best performances of the year from the offensive line. Now, I know no Nick Bosa, a lot of no Fred Warner, no Bryce Huff, a lot of starters out for the San Francisco 49ers, but the way the conversations have been around this Houston Texan offense, and you even heard me say, myself, if you're somewhat complacent, you're going to be able to stop the Houston Texans. Well, the 49ers defense has been complacent, even though with their number of injuries, Robert Sonic can really scheme it up with the best of them. And Nick Caley got the better of him yesterday. Now we're praising Nick Caley. Man, this league truly is week to week. But he deserves a lot of praise. After yesterday's game. Like I mentioned, guys, the offense was the driving force yesterday. I mean, there was 5, 6 scoring drives. They didn't punt until late in the game. I think they only punted once, and when they did, it was a beautiful punt down at the 1 by Tommy Tonsed. Now, we know what happened with the defense, right? Almost let them get back into it, but Kamara Lassiter, the locksmith, ices the game. You asked me last week what was the confidence in the offense after Monday Night Football against Seattle. I gave it a 0. After San Francisco, I'm going to go up I'm gonna go up 4 points. I'm gonna say my confidence in this offense is a 4 out of a 10. And that's only gonna increase as the season goes on, right? I've already seen the bottom, the floor, right? And that was what we saw against the Rams, what we saw against Seattle. I've seen the ceiling, and that was an absolute blowout win against the Baltimore Ravens. So I've seen the floor, I've seen the ceiling. I just need to see it right in the middle. I need to see this Houston Texan offense be consistent, right? I don't want to have a game where we score 13 points one week, then 40 points the week after that, and then 13, then 40. Like, we need good Houston Texan offense. And the fact that we got to see that today against a really good NFC team, like I said, 5-2, do not take anything away from this Houston Texans victory. Do not take anything away. Now, of course, this chatter only becomes louder if you get a dub next week against the Denver Broncos. And that's going to be a tough game because you talk about that defense. It's one of the best in the NFL. Nick Bonito, Patrick Surtain. Hopefully you have Nico Collins back. Hopefully you have, honestly, I'm done with Christian Kirk. But if he's back, he's back. Nonetheless, the Houston Texans offense, ladies and gentlemen, against the San Francisco 49ers, it showed up, and it showed up for 4 quarters. You guys let me know your thoughts and comments about this offense down below. But it's kind of frustrating. Why can't we get this every single game? New offense, new OC, new O-line coach. It seems like multiple things can be true at the same time. This team is still trying to figure it out offensively. They're showing good signs. Hopefully, we get to see it again at home this Sunday against the Denver Broncos. Guys, I love you. I hope you enjoy this Victory Monday. Do not forget, episode is brought to you and powered by Sleeper. Get a 100% match up to $100. Use promo code 713HOU and use that free $20 entry. Guys, I love y'all. Have a blessed day.